go to college and you don't have to deal with all this stuff.
Hey, that might have been the best choice there. YouTube, we're so sorry about that disconnection. We're back, baby. Raphael's here with us. We just got done talking about the Miami-Michigan State game, and we're excited for that one. Let's move on to this one. I don't know if I'm going to bet. I'm a little worried here. West Virginia breaking out the Gold Unis, the Gold Domes. They're a 2.5-point favorite in Morgantown.
Yeah, I agree on this one. I think here's another one of the spreads right close. I'm a little bit shocked that the total was 50. I thought we were going to post this one like maybe 45, 46. Here's another game. I think it's going to be dead under. Both teams are going to run the ball right from the get-go. So you're not going to see those long passes that we normally will see. I'm still really high on what Virginia Tech did on their opening game in Blacksburg. Metallica, I think, is still playing at halftime right now. So this one's going to be interesting. But, yeah, I like the under at 50. But this is a toss-up. I would probably maybe look at the Mountaineers at home. I mean, it's a soft number. You're pretty much saying, oh, you have to just win the game. If you like West Virginia, maybe take a look at that money line. If you can get something lower than maybe minus 130, then I would think that, because I still believe this game is probably a field goal or less. That's why I say look at that money line. If you can get minus 130 or lower, probably get a solid minus 130, maybe minus 135 out there. But the number's perfect. But I would lean towards the Mountaineers to get a victory. Don't tell my good friend Jim, because he's a Virginia Tech alumni, and he might be mad at me.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but did it open up as Virginia Tech the favorite on like Monday?
Some books did. Some books didn't. I think they were waiting to see where the money would come in on this one. I think Circa in Las Vegas maybe put them maybe a -1 or something like that, but quickly jumped on that. I understand when some books do that, because either they have a couple, I don't want to say wise guys or big bettors that are pretty much know what they're going to bet, and they put that on it to get that money early so they can rebound pretty much all rest of the week. So when you see that kind of action, that just tells me sometimes books know that they have a couple guys that are going to pound it early, and then they can move it to where the numbers should be, and then they can get balanced action for the rest of the week.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Boys, what do you say?
What's the early resume of both teams? Because I know Virginia Tech beat Chapel Hill, but who else have they beaten?
I want to say they beat Sisters of the Poor last week. West Virginia lost to Maryland. Had a bounce back game against Rhode Island University.
I'm going to say Virginia Tech. I mean, I was feeling pretty good about that. I wasn't sure if West Virginia was unbeaten still, but yeah, I'm high on Virginia Tech. I think Clemson's early loss has opened up the ACC. I think they're the team in the ACC, and it's pedal to the metal. So
the ACC needs Virginia Tech to win this game, because so far right now, because North Carolina can easily lose today. So if they lose, and let's say the Hokies lose, then the Sun Belt probably jumps over them with the better conference in football.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going the Hokies too. There's only one Mountaineer in my mind. Go FC.
Let's go, Seth.
Give me the Hokies.
Hey, it's all right. Me and Raphael will sing Country Roads Take Us Home. I'm hammering down West Virginia. They're bringing out the gold jerseys. I got to go West Virginia here.
Yeah, though I love the gold jersey looks. I mean, it's not going to be the best look. I'm actually excited to watch Tulane and Ole Miss play, because the Tulane helmets that they were presenting today are just – I want that tattoo on my back. Just because it's a really, really cool helmet that they're busting out. And it has a little patch on the helmet that says SEC champs 3 times back in the 30s. So I thought that was kind of funny, because they have more SEC champions than Ole Miss does.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that helmet up right here. There it is. Tulane has won the SEC championship more recently than in Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Vandy, and A&M. What an ultimate troll job by them, Raphael.
I know. Hey, and that's my old company too, BetMGM. I worked for them for 13 Super Bowls, so I have to get a shout out to MGM for posting it.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that was BetMGM that posted. Like, that's pretty dope.
I probably know who did that, because I know the 2 head guys over at social media over there. So I have to give them some props. I have to send them a text.
Hey, they're doing the right thing over there. Got one that my family being Cincinnati, I'm close to this game. We got Bearcats versus Indiana. Bearcats kind of avoided a first half scare last week. Indiana, I can't tell if they're good or just really bad. There's no gray area, I don't think. Bearcats only a 3.5-point favorite here, I was like, dang.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Bearcats. This would be a great basketball game if it was Huggins versus Knight. I mean,
that's right.
Ask on that one. But for football, I mean, I know Indiana's much better than we've seen in the past 10 years, where they were the garbage dump of the Big Ten until Rutgers got there. But they've been playing much better. Their offense is much better. But I just think Cincinnati's defense is going to be just too much for them. They got speed in the corners. Their safeties hit hard. I like Cincinnati to take this one. Even though my sister's an IU grad, and I like the way IU's moving forward on their football program lately, but I think the Bearcats are going to be too tough for them.
Yeah. So since they're still top 25.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think anytime there's kind of a new sheriff in town, if you will, but I think Cincy maintains their place, and I hope this is their year to either get close to unbeaten or at least have a record that they can get a high bowl game. But yeah, I'll go Bearcats.
Yeah, I'm going Bearcats too. I mean, I don't know enough about either team really, but the points you made, Rafael, pretty on point with how you want to win as a football organization. So going Bearcats. Plus their mascot's pretty cool.
I wish the Indiana football program would wear the striped red and white striped pants that the Hoosiers played in basketball. That'd be great if their football pants were like that. Like that'd be fantastic.
I think last year they had an alternate jersey that was similar to it, but it was just the top.
Pants. You got to wear the striped candy cane pants if you're in Indiana. You just can't wear the jerseys.
That's right. Absolutely. I'm going to take Cincinnati plus that 3.5. I think they cover. I really think Cincinnati will win by at least 10 points against Indiana from what I've seen, but maybe I'm just biased.
It should be a good game. It should be a good early game, so I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. Colorado versus Minnesota. Minnesota losing their star running back, their main offensive weapon, going up into Colorado. Colorado only 2.5-point favorite. Over under set 46.5. What do we say?
Yeah, it's a bad trip for Minnesota right here. You said they lost their running back. I know they have some running backs on the bench that can probably carry the load, but it's just a bad road trip going to Colorado. I think the Buffs take this game. Even though I think if this was on a neutral field, then it would be a totally different spread, probably totally different total as well. But going to Colorado, and especially at this time frame it is, I think the Buffs going this one. I think Minnesota maybe had a better chance if this was an evening game or something like that. But playing in the afternoon, kind of around Boulder, if you've ever been there, a lot of hippies. I mean, Carmen from South Park was correct on that. There is a lot of hippies in Boulder. But give me the Buffs on this one. Bad road trip for Minnesota.
No, this is my coolest coach in college football is PJ Fleck. I am all in on the Gophers every week. Unfortunately, they lost their star running back because I thought they were going to turn some heads this year. Had them beaten Ohio State, and really they were ahead of Ohio State, so their running back went out. So unfortunate year for Minnesota, but I think they get back on track. So
maybe he'll roll the boat into USC.
Yeah.
I think the Buffs are stomping out the Gophers this weekend. Give me Colorado.
I'm with you. I'm surprised you're not taking a dog here. I don't think you've taken a dog all week here.
Mixing it up.
Yeah. I'm going Colorado as well. And real quick, you mentioned it. Odds for USC's next head coach. I really think it's going to be Urban Meyer. No. I know you don't think so?
No, I think his big head will probably stay at least 2 years in Jackson. He doesn't want to leave after the first year, even though they're going to stink all season long. I think this USC, I can't think of the interim head coach right now. I can't think of his name. If he wins, and let's say just goes to a bowl game, the players love him. He's a recruiting machine. He has stole a lot of players to go to USC that would maybe think about going to Georgia or Tennessee or other things around it. He's kept them in California. If they can win games, I think they give it to him. I don't think you need that flashy name at USC anymore, because USC, I know people think it's still a top 5 head coach, but it's not, because they haven't won anything. If that's the case, then Texas is the best head coaching job to go. When was the last time they won something? So I think this is a different USC team. When they were in a highlight, the Dodgers weren't winning anything. The Lakers weren't winning anything. The Clippers were still in the gutter. So the USC was the only thing that was happy in LA. Right now, LA is it's baseball town. So you don't need a big name for USC. You just need to win games.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Pete Carroll, when he got the job, was not a big name.
Yeah.
Really. And look what the success he had there. I think you're absolutely right. And
everywhere I've seen on social media from any like USC account, they're all in on this interim coach. And I think the students are behind him, the players are behind him, like you said. As long as he goes out there and wins, get him to a bowl, I think you're fine, man. I like that take, Raphael.
I would not be shocked if what's the guy from Kansas City Chiefs? He might be the one that might. Yes, he might be the one that I think if they don't give it to the interim, he could sneak in because he says that would be the only job he would go to college. Coach would be USC. So now that job is opening. I would think he might be a good one. Hey, Ed Orgeron might be looking for a job after this season. Maybe he'll jump back over to USC when he gets fired at LSU.
Yeah, you think he's on the hot seat?
He's on a hot seat not because of play, but he's on a hot seat for what happened behind the scenes with all the allegations and all that. He was on a hot seat before the game kicked off before the season, so now he's on an even hotter seat. Especially if, let's say, Central Michigan keeps this game close tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm behind you. Moving on, Nebraska, Oklahoma. This point spread is huge, 22.5. And Nebraska is so far back. I had to put their helmet on reverse there, the backwards end. It's just a backwards program. It's not looking good for them. Over-under set at 62.5. I think most of those points are going to come from Spencer Rattler and the Oklahoma Sooners. But what do you say?
I'd rather watch HGT Love It or Listed than watch Nebraska play football. This game is going to be ugly. Oklahoma's going to want to put a butt whipping on them. Bet the over. I think we're going to see a lot of points scored on the Sooners on this one. Yeah, I think Oklahoma. Nebraska is just – I want nothing to do with Nebraska. I want nothing to do with Florida State. Just give me Oklahoma all day long. If Oklahoma wins by 50 more, Big Ten might kick them out.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, Sooners to the moon. Let's go Oklahoma.
I just can't get over the over under 62.5, and they're giving Oklahoma 22.5. That's a lot of points. No belief in Nebraska. Also, I think this is like a historic matchup. Like they never play, but I think like in the history of college football, I can't remember what year it was, but back when Nebraska had a team,
in the early 90s.
So I don't know. Maybe people are sleeping on Nebraska, but I think you have to take Oklahoma.
Yeah, sleeping on Nebraska. They shouldn't even watch Nebraska.
Yeah. We just got done talking about hot seats. Scott Frost, he's done in Nebraska. I think he's over. Put him through a table.
Yeah, I just put my resume on LinkedIn for the Nebraska head coaching job. He's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Him, AD, they're all gone. Get him out.
Yeah.
USC, Washington State. USC coming off just the ass kicking from Stanford. I mean, Stanford laid it on them. Now they're a 7-point favorite against Washington State. Over under set 62. Both these teams can score a lot. What do we say?
This one I just put a big exit because I don't know how this USC team's going to rebound after their head coach again axed. At least they didn't axe him on an airplane when they land on a Turks like they did Kiffin.
Right.
I just want to see how these players play. It's a big number, 7. Washington State is not – I don't want to say that they're going to be a bottom team of the Pac-12, but they're not that good of a team. So I just want to see how USC reacts in this game. So that's why I wouldn't touch this game or the total at all. Just sit back and watch it because if they come out really strong and blow them out, then you can look at USC in the next couple of weeks when they play some key games and if you want to ride them back then. But this game right here, just sit back and watch and take notes because you can use this game for possibilities of cashing tickets in weeks to come.
This is why you're a head bookie. This is why you're the man, Raphael.
I'm going with Cougars. I think what just contradicted everything you just said. No, I think what the point you made about a big change like this, I think it can either be a detriment or it can really be to the benefit of the players. And it's just a big question mark. And right now, I think, in my eyes, I'd rather go with some consistency. And I would put my money on the Cougars, but that could blow up in my face. So we'll see.
I mean, I'm sure
I'm not a good gambling man either, but that over/under seems pretty high. 62 points for a USC team without a coach. I mean, I know they got a coach, like, and an assistant's moved up or whatever, but 62 is pretty high. And I don't know if Washington State can hang or not. But I'd be tempted to take the under on that 62. Raphael, is that wise thinking or is that a rookie mistake?
I mean, the total opened up at 61, 61 and a half. So we have not got that much action. And in the past 20 minutes, we did take a 6-figure bet on USC. So we're probably going to move it probably to 8, I would think, as we're speaking. So if you like USC, then you think they're going to score a lot of points. So probably bet the over. But if you're like your boy who likes Cougars over there, Washington needs to keep this game under and not have USC get those big plays and get the scoreboard rocking. So I guess it all depends on who you like. If you like USC, then they need to put up 40-plus points to win this road game. But if you like Washington State, you need to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, keep the clock ticking, and keep it kind of a low-scoring game. So I guess it all depends on who you really like in this game and how you bet the total.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm not touching this game betting-wise. I'm with you, Rafael. I'll use it as homework for weeks upcoming because you never know when you lose a head coach. You never know what's going to happen. But I'll pick USC for the show here. I think they get inspired and they go win. But just like you said, Rafael, you just never know. Bama, Florida, 14.5 favorite Bama. Over-under set 60. From what I've heard, a lot of people are trying to back Florida here. I don't know.
I don't know
why. Saying. No.
There's 2 things I learned in football the last couple of years. You don't bet against Tampa Tom, and you don't bet against Alabama. Period. Right. I don't care if Tim Tebow's out there. I don't care if Joe Montana's the quarterback for Florida. Alabama will probably put up 40-plus, probably 50 points on this game. I just don't see Florida with their 2-quarterback system. Tim Tebow on TV saying it's going to keep it close until Alabama loses 2 games in a row and don't cover and don't put up high numbers. I don't bet against them. I'm sorry, because all they do is win national championships. So why bet against? I know that the Swamp, Tom Petty will be blaring at the fourth quarter, blah, 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 blah. But I'm sure in the fourth quarter, Alabama have a 50 mark on them, and a third-string people will be playing for the Gators. Bama wins big.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue any of that. I'm going Alabama.
Oh man, I want to pick the Gators really bad here.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I want to take the Gators as well because I'm not the biggest Alabama fan at all. But it's the same story. I mean, Miami, they got a quarterback Heisman hopeful. They're going to keep this game close. No, it's just you just don't. All they do is just recruit, bring in people. I mean, this quarterback looks like he can start for Jacksonville Jaguars and give them their first W than Trevor Lawrence. So it's just hard for me to bet against Alabama. Period.
You know what? I would go against the spread here. I would think it's going to be closer than 14.5. Bama. It's an early game in the season. They're going into Gainesville. I think this happened a few years ago when Bama went into USC and they played USC. Again, same thing. It's like, Bama's going to steamroll them. But it's early enough in the season. It's going into a tough opponent. The Gators are good. So I think that's a little disrespectful to say they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns. I would take the Gators to cover. I think Bama will probably win, but I think it's a close game. Hey, Florida could even spoil. So go Gators.
Their better quarterback, the one I think that could probably beat Alabama, is injured. He's got a hamstring problem. I mean, he's going to play, but they have trouble with mobile quarterbacks, and he's the more mobile one. So he's probably not going to get most of the snaps just because he's not 100%. If he was playing the starter and 100%, it's a totally, totally different ballgame.
Yeah. Do we have any first half bets for it?
I'm sure we do. Let's see here. I'm sure it's probably 7.5. I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.5. There's some 8s out there. Just because I would not be shocked. Yeah, mostly 8s out there. I would not be shocked this one moves to 15. There's a couple 15s that moved this morning on this game, and that just tells me I know we're heavy on Alabama money line on parlays and stuff like that, so that I do know. But I would not be shocked if this one moves to 15 before kickoff.
Yeah, I might take that first half. It's set at 7.5, 8. Sure, I think Florida keeps it close, but second half, Bryce Young dices them up. Give me Bama. I don't know about hanging 50, Rafael, but if you say it, hey,
they're going to hang 50. It's Alabama, and Tampa Tom's going to go undefeated.
Yeah. Got a couple more here. Wake Forest, Florida State. I had to put this in there. Both teams stink. But Andrew Price wanted us to talk about North Carolina teams here. Wake Forest, obviously being North Carolina, going against Florida State, who's only favored by 4.5.
I want nothing to do with Florida State's football program. I want nothing to do with Florida State's baseball program because both of them have been sliding really, really badly years after years after years. For me, if there was a play, I would have to take the Demon Deacons just because Florida State, the only thing that I keep on remembering when they lost to Jacksonville State, how bad is that guy who proposed to his girlfriend and she said yes during that loss at Jacksonville State. So now every time people ask them, where did you ask your wife to marry you? I asked my wife to marry me during the Jacksonville State game, which we lost at home. So that what a way to story. He has to tell that all the time. But yeah, I'm not sold on Florida State. I mean, I know they kept it close against Notre Dame. That's why I'm really not sold on Notre Dame today against Purdue. I mean, I think Purdue could probably put up some big numbers, especially on a running game. If Toledo was able to run all over Notre Dame, what's Purdue going to do today? I just like the Demon Deacons. No disrespect to Florida State, but they haven't shown me anything to put my hard-earned allowance money that my wife gives me to put it on Florida State.
No, you're absolutely right. I think they blew their load against Notre Dame. They gave it everything they had, and they're tapped out.
Yeah.
Who's starting quarterback for Florida State?
I think it's Mackenzie Milton, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think if it's Milton, I would take Florida State. If they went back to the other
Travis.
yeah, I don't like him at
I
all.
agree. If Milton plays the rest of the year and stays healthy, and that I can close my eyes and just remember that injury at UCF. If he could stay healthy, he's the better quarterback, and his leadership is probably the reason why he's the better quarterback. Not because of his arm, not because of his mobility. His leadership in that huddle will make him the better quarterback.
Absolutely.
I got to do this for Devin. Wake the nation. Let's go. Demon Deacons. I'm taking Wake.
Tim Duncan will be happy for you.
That's right. And Chris Paul. Shout out Chris Paul.
Muggsy.
CP3. Yeah,
Muggsy
I'm a bigger Duncan fan than CP3.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think we all are here too. Big fundamental fan. Give me Wake Forest. Give me the Demon Deacons. I think they get it done. I'm with you, Raphael. Florida State, done. Bobby Bowden, dead. Florida State, dead.
You said that, not me.
Fresno State, UCLA. UCLA is hot. Chip Kelly with the visor. He's going undefeated as long as he keeps the visor on. Taking on Fresno State. Fresno State's no slouch. UCLA minus 11 favorite.
I want to say UCLA in this one, but Fresno State's no joke. They can run the ball. Their defense is really, really good. This game's going to be much closer than what the number is looking. UCLA does win this game, but I like Fresno State to cover this double-digit number. I would not be shocked if UCLA wins by 10, and you still get that victory. You still get that double-digit victory for the Bruins. But, yeah, this is going to be a much closer game than what people think it is. I like Fresno State to cover this points.
Yeah.
Give me the Bulldogs. Let's go Fresno State.
I think it's going to be a big weekend for Fresno State, not only in this game, but Monday night against the Lions. I think Devontae Adams gets like 3 touchdowns. So Fresno State for my boy Tay.
Was that a fantasy plug?
That's a little fancy plug.
Oh, jeez. I'm not a fantasy guy.
I won't ruin, but yeah, I think Fresno keeps it close as long as they keep running the ball hard. That defense can stop DeAndre Johnson. Yeah, give me UCLA. Give me the Bruins.
Now, if you like UCLA bettors that are listening or watching this show, bet it now because here's another one. It's a late game. I know you three be sleeping when this game ticks off because you guys are not West Coast lovers. But yeah, this game will be bet UCLA all night long just because it's the late game. Like I said, we'll be chasing. They're going to say, oh, UCLA beat LSU. Give me UCLA and my teasers, parlays, and money lines and everything else. Add them onto NFL parlays. You can probably get, I would guarantee probably get 11.5, maybe even a 12 on Fresno State.
Hey, that might be worth it. Stay up a little late, boys.
So I'll call you guys and wake you guys up when the number moves because you guys will be late because you guys give no West Coast love out there.
I know. Hey, I know. Ole Miss Rebs versus the Tulane. I had to call them the Trolls after the helmet. Awesome. Ole Miss 14-point favorite. Over under set 76.5. A lot of the points being scored here.
and it still goes over. I mean, Tulane gave up a lot of yardage to Oklahoma. Ole Miss pretty much almost runs the same type of offense as Oklahoma, so you figure they're going to put up a high number. And Tulane can score. They scored last year all the time long. They like to keep the ball speeding, no huddle offense. This game's going to be fun to watch. I see Ole Miss winning. I don't know if they're going to cover, but I'm sorry. This game will probably hit the 80 mark. I can't wait to watch this game. It's going to be like me playing Tecmo Bowl back in high school. It's going to be fun to watch. You're going to see a lot of points scored on this one. But that said, it's going to be 20-3 Ole Miss win.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss for all the points you just made. I think it's going to be fun to watch. So we'll go with the Rebels.
76 points. I mean, I think that's so high. I mean, like, I don't know how to. I mean, 40-32 would still be under that, which is, I don't know. So it just, and Tulane's not going to lose by 8. They're going to lose by like 20. So I don't know. Like even 42-20. Yeah, it just doesn't. I would hammer the under on this.
I know Tulane almost put up 70 last week. I mean, I know it was a garbage team, but you can't say, hey, they almost put up 70 against Morgan when Alabama, LSU, and every other SEC team plays horrible teams like Lamar, Morgan State in their schedule. But, hey, they beat up Morgan State last year, almost putting a 70 mark last week, 69. I think it was 69-20. So they can score and score quickly. That's why I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, Austin Peay let Ole Miss put up, 55 against them? So we're just going to see a Tecmo Bowl type of game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Matt Carroll and that Ole Miss offense dices. I love it. Tulane, I've been a fan of Tulane for the past 5 years because that offense has been explosive. Run the ball. They know how to hit the deep shots. Their special teams are kicking onside kick to get the ball back to score even more. I'm taking over, but give me the Rebs.
Yeah, I think the Rebs win this game, but like I said, I was impressed on how Tulane played against Oklahoma. They're up-and-coming school in that conference, football-wise, even though they're the redhead stepchild in Louisiana because it's all LSU, Saints, and no one cares about Tulane. But right now, I think Tulane could be playing the best football, better than LSU.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably hit the wrong button. We got UVA versus UNC. I do it every show. UNC is an 8-point favorite here. Both teams, I can't get a read on. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm really been impressed with UVA's offense this year because normally they're a run first and try to keep the tempo of the game slow. But this year they're put the pedal to the metal and they want to score quickly. It was North Carolina just maybe all hype before the season started. They had a Heisman, the hopeful quarterback, and their defense was supposed to be better than last year. So, yeah, I agree with you. I just don't know that. I just don't have a feel because I didn't think UVA's offense would be this good when it started. I thought North Carolina would be much better before they started. So, yeah, this game has a big question mark. I'm going to just sit back and watch this one. I think the number's just a tad too high because I'm sorry, the way North Carolina has played so far, a -8. I can understand if it was 7. But now you're saying that they have to win by pretty much by a touchdown and a field goal. So I would think maybe UVA will get some love. But for me, I want nothing to do with this game.
Yeah.
I'm going UVA. Got nothing to say.
This would be a great basketball matchup, but I think both of these teams are struggling. And this would be, Raphael, I would put an X on this one. I would not bet on the Tar Heels at all because they're just so inconsistent. But the
way UNC is playing defense in college basketball practice, I've been hearing that this total might be 60 in college basketball too, because they said North Carolina's all focused about defense this year, so the total might be 60 in college basketball between these two teams.
Yeah, we're not far off. I think I'm gonna take the over in this game. I think both offenses can score if they start getting clicking. Sam Howell, he had hype for a reason. He's damn good. UVA's offenses came out of nowhere to explode. I'm not going to touch money lines. I'm not going to touch the spread, but I might take that over under. But I can't root for UNC. Sorry, Ev. Give me UVA. Final game, primetime game here. Auburn Tigers versus Penn State. It's a wideout in Happy Valley. Penn State is a 5-point favorite. Over under set 52.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if this number continues to drop. It's an evening game. This one has been dropping. Opened up at 6.5. It's now -5. So does that mean if some more SEC money, Auburn comes in, if I can get a 4.5 or a 4, I'm probably gonna jump on Penn State. It's a whiteout. I've been to Happy Valley during a whiteout many moons ago, and it's just electric. So it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm going to be rooting for Penn State because I can make fun of SEC of losing another non-conference game. But if Auburn can't run the ball, it's going to be a very long night because we all know Nix doesn't play well on the road either. So it could be a very long evening for Auburn if their offense doesn't start clicking because we all know Penn State can play defense.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going Penn State. I think the home field advantage is really going to be prominent tonight or during the game. So we're going Penn State.
Yeah, I like Penn State as well, and I've been impressed with the Big Ten in general, and I think Raphael kind of even talked about it just with the SEC. But I think this is a matchup that can really be a statement, especially for the Big Ten versus SEC. And I like Penn State in this one.
Hey, who would have thought during week 3 of college football we're impressed with Pac-12 and Big Ten football and making fun of the ACC and the lower half of the SEC? I mean, it's just been a crazy college football year, and it's just started.
Yeah, exactly. Raphael, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's all going to come down to Bo Nix in his arm. And he doesn't play well on the road. Give me Penn State plus the points. I think they blow out Auburn here. I don't think it's close. I think Bo Nix is going to crumble under pressure.
It wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if it's an ugly game. I think the total is dead on. I wanted to play it under. I was hoping to get like maybe 55 on this total because I think it's going to be a very defensive game. Would not shock me if it's an old Big Ten type of football game. Run, punt, run, punts. But I was hoping to get a better number on that total.
Yeah, absolutely. I back that. And then one final game. Once again, it's one of these huge point totals. South Carolina. Over-under is at 47.5, but UJ is favored by 31.5. We're saying South Carolina's only scored maybe a tutty and a field goal pretty much.
Yeah, I have no opinion in this game because I usually don't look at these kind of big spreads and stuff like that. But if I had to, I mean, I think the Gamecocks might keep it some respectful. Georgia, maybe they'll take the pedal off the metal in the fourth quarter, maybe try to avoid some injuries. I would say maybe take the plus points on this one, but this one could be ugly by halftime.
Yeah.
Bulldogs. Yeah, I mean, I was going to troll and take the Gamecocks, but it's just no way.
South Carolina money line.
Now look at over/under again to 47 points. I'm like, that seems really low ball for me. That I think there's going to be more points than that. Yes, it's going to be a blowout for Georgia, but it's saying like if Georgia puts up 42, Gamecocks just need a touchdown. That I would take the over easily on this one.
Hopefully you catch that ticket.
Yeah.
I won't be watching this game. I'd rather watch Disney Plus than watch this Georgia Gamecocks.
Yeah, I'm with you. Unless Zeb Nolan, the graduate assistant, is playing quarterback and he dices them up for a miracle Disney movie type of thing.
I can see that.
Yeah. You know what? Give me the Bulldogs. I do think South Carolina can score a late touchdown to cover. Especially if they pull JT Daniels in the first half, Georgia does, and then, pulls their starters. I can definitely see them covering late. But yeah, give me the Dogs. I think they dog walk them. Raphael, that's going to do it, man. Thank you so much for hopping on. I know you guys earlier in the season, my bookie came out with the lock of the year. Tampa Bay, Dallas, anybody scores, you get paid pretty much. And that was awesome. Giving away free money pretty much. Anything else coming up for my bookie or you guys in the future?
I haven't seen anything come on a pipeline. I'm not, like I said, I don't get involved that much of the marketing scheme. They'll just email me like, hey, can you put up this dumb prop bet? Or we got Kanye West wanting us to put up some prop bets on his stupid concerts or stuff like that. So, but I know there's some interesting stuff coming up on the next UFC fight. I know they're going to do some stuff on the next the trilogy fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. They're going to be doing some interesting stuff on that one. And I think I don't remember which Monday Night Football game coming up. I think it's week 4, week 5. They're going to do something like that. Another big promo. But I'll have to dive into. If I hear anything, I'll shoot you an email and give you a little heads up.
Hey, absolutely. We greatly appreciate. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you hopping on, Raphael, and talking football and bets with us. Anytime, you're always welcome back, and hopefully you come back because this was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, anytime you guys need me, you got my email and stuff like that. And like I said, if I offend anybody with my emails that I send you, too bad. Learn to smile. Learn to laugh.
Exactly. Hell yeah, Raphael. Hell yeah. Hey, man, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, have one hell of a week. Go bet on some sports. Go use my bookie. Go have some fun. Drink some beer. Whatever it is. We'll catch you guys Tuesday.